there, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp, and today I'm going to share a card created with components from the August card kit together. I'm going to create an inlay style card here using cardstock, pattern paper, embossing powder, stamps from the August card kit, combined with some dies from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to use the Hearts Alive and Stitched Rectangles to die cut a front panel for my inlay from some of the slate cardstock included in the kit. What I like to do is go ahead and die cut these at the same time and run this through my Big Shot die cutting machine all at once. This Hearts Alive die is an awesome die for an inlay technique. Lots of little sections here that are going to look incredible with the pattern papers that are included in this month's kit. I'm going to run that back and forth through the machine a couple times. If you have a hard time getting it to cut all the way through, you can see here that corner that did not cut. If that happens, simply place everything back in your die cutting machine, but shift it on the cutting mat a little bit and then run it through again. My cutting pads are probably getting a little used up. I use them a lot, so I tend to replace them fairly often. It's probably time for new ones when this starts happening, but when it does happen, I try to get the most out of them, so just move it around on your cutting pads. So there is the die cut frame, which is going to be perfect for an inlay. What inspired this whole card is this pattern paper from the 6x6 Pink Fresh collection, Live More. And I love this XOXO paper. The color combination is completely inspired by this single piece of paper. I'm going to only use these two big hearts as the inlay, and then I will choose another paper for the rest of the inlay. My favorite pattern paper from this 6x6 papers included in the kit is the Marble. And it's a really simple paper, but it's gorgeous and will be fantastic for backgrounds. I'm going to use it and die cut the Hearts Alive die from it to use behind those rectangle pieces. So I've got the two big hearts, there's going to be three small hearts, and then those rectangular pieces that look like they go behind everything. That's where that marble paper is going to go. The three small hearts, I'm going to actually customize those by die cutting the ivory cardstock in the kit with this Hearts Alive die, and I'm going to ink them up with a Simon Says Stamp ink. This is the Coral Reef ink, and I simply grabbed my swatch book to find what color of ink would match the O's from that XOXO paper, and this is the one. Now it looks really dark. This is a dye ink, so when you first put it on, it's going to be super wet and really dark, but as it dries, it's going to mute and matte a little bit, and it'll be perfect. This is going to give a great pop of color to an otherwise really simple and kind of neutrals style of card. On my front panel, before I do the inlay portion, I want to do any stamping that needs to be done while it's still flat. Included in the August kit is this awesome You Plus Me stamp set. It is phenomenal. It's got awesome borders, greetings that you can mix and match and build your own. I'm going to use the You Plus Me equals awesome larger greeting with the smaller You Are a Great Friend underneath it, stamped with Versamark ink below the Hearts Alive die cut frame there. And included in the kit is some Wow embossing glitter. And this is going to give a really fun little pop of glitz and glamour to an otherwise very clean and simple style card. It looks beautiful embossed there underneath the greeting and is just so super pretty. I'm going to sprinkle on that glitter embossing powder and then simply heat set that. And holding it at an angle, you're going to be able to see it just a little bit better as that melts. Want to make sure I get everything melted really good. I like to touch the heat gun or just take it to the back of the panel a little bit to help it flatten so it doesn't curl up. And there is that beautiful glittery greeting. My favorite way of creating an inlay is to flip over that front panel and cover it with foam adhesive. Not only does this make the panel dimensional because it's got that nice layer of foam adhesive, but you instantly have adhesive to stick all of those inlay pieces in. And I'll show you what I mean when I flip this over. It makes creating inlays so easy. Before I figured this technique out, I would, dab little bits of glue and I was piecing everything together, and it was such a time-consuming type of thing. And with this, it just works so fantastic. I use it probably 95% of the time when I'm doing an inlay. So there's the back completely covered with foam adhesive. When I flip it over, you can see that the sticky adhesive is right there. So all I have to do is grab all of my inlay pieces. I've got my marble backgrounds and start putting the inlay together. No extra adhesive is needed. You gotta love that. No liquid glue that might get out on the front of this or anything. So super easy. You just it's kind of like a puzzle. You just put it all back together. So I started with the marble background pieces. Isn't that marbling in that pattern paper so pretty? I really love it. And then I noticed that little delicate heart frame is kind of skewed. It is awfully delicate, so it just didn't get attached as well as it should be. So I'm going to carefully peel that up just a tiny little bit, fix it so I still have that nice gray outline and it's not hiding behind that marble piece. I've put my hearts in. I'm replacing the little coral hearts that I inked with the coral Reef Ink. It's such a great way. If you don't have the color of accent or embellishment you need, you can always ink up a light color cardstock with the inks you have on hand to match perfectly. Now from the rest of the ivory cardstock that I didn't use to die cut my hearts, I created a top fold card base. This is a standard A2 sized card base. I'm going to remove the foam adhesive backing from the back of my inlay frame. Pop this in place right on that ivory cardstock base. And the card is good to go just as it is, or if you're like me, Glossy Accents is always one of my favorite finishing touches. I probably use it almost 95% of the time, but it always just adds that little extra something. I'm going to cover the coral hearts with Glossy Accents to make them slightly raised and, of course, have that awesome glossy finish. Thanks for joining me today for this card showcasing the August 2017 Simon Says Stamp card kit together. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Simon Says Stamp for more inspiring videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.